Greetings, everyone. Hope you all are fine and safe. For today's session, we'll be working onto a topic, and the name of the topic is punctuations. For starter, let's begin with the difference between punctuation and punctuation mark. Punctuation is the system of symbols that we use to separate written sentences and parts of sentences. And to make their meaning clear, each symbol is called punctuation mark. If we are talking about, for an example, full stop individually, at that time we'll be calling it punctuation mark. If we are talking about question mark separately or individually, at that time we'll be referring it as a punctuation mark. But if we are talking about all of them together, full stop, question mark, exclamation mark, comma, apostrophe, inverted comma, double inverted comma, etc., etc., when we are talking about them all together, at that time we will be calling it together as punctuation. Further in the topic, I will refer each of these punctuations as punctuation marks. So now let's begin with the first punctuation mark, and that is full stop. At some point, you must have seen this punctuation mark, full stop, while reading English sentences. There are specific functions and placements where only full stop can come. For example, we use full stop to mark the end of the sentences. For example, I am not feeling well. So after the sentence, we will put a full stop because we are ending the sentence. Just like this, if we are talking about another sentence like she is my sister and we are ending the sentence, so to mark it, we'll put full stop there in the end. Sometimes we use full stop after initials. For example, Professor Charu Batra used to teach me history in college. So there, after Professor PROF, we will put a full stop. We use full stop after the abbreviations. For example, A.R. Sharma is a great physicist. So after A, we'll put a full stop. After R, also we will put a full stop. Now there is a very important point that you must note, that if a sentence ends with an abbreviation, then no additional full stop needs to be added to end the sentence. For example, he is doing MBA. So after M there will be full stop, after B there will be a full stop, again after A there will be a full stop because this is an abbreviation. After each letter there will be a full stop. So after all of them, another full stop will not be added in the end to end the sentence. Another point to be noted, that if the sentence ends with a question mark or an exclamation mark, then they could be placed after the full stop. For example, is he doing MBA? After M, full stop, B, full stop, and A, full stop will be coming, and finally, we'll put a question mark in the end. On to our next punctuation mark, and that is question mark. Where we can use question mark? We can use question mark in the end of a question. For example, where are you going? After which we will put a question mark. What is your name? After this also we will put a question mark. Question mark are also placed before the closing inverted commas if it is a part of a direct speech. For example, Have you completed your homework? Asked Sia. This point will be more clear when you will do the direct indirect speech topic. The next point is that question mark is placed after the closing inverted commas if it is not part of the direct speech. For example, does his dog become excited every time he says, I am going out? In this, after going out, there will be a closing inverted comma, and after which there will be a question mark. Now we'll move on to the next punctuation mark, and that is exclamation mark, which is used at the end of an exclamatory sentence. For example, that was so scary. After which we'll put an exclamatory mark. Exclamation mark is also used after the interjections like hurrah, we won the match, HURRAH, hurrah, after which we will put an exclamation mark. The next punctuation mark is comma, which is used to separate a list of 3 or more items. For example, could you please get me some butter, sugar, and rice from the market? So as you can see that after butter there was a comma, after sugar as well we have got a comma. Let's move on. Sometimes comma is used to separate parts of a sentence. For example, Preet, comma, my best friend, comma, came to visit me at the hospital today. Did you see that there were some places where we put comma? After word also we put comma, and after a phrase also we put a comma. Like Preet, comma, and my best friend, comma. We use comma before a question tag. For example, it's cold today, comma, isn't it? Or we can say, it's so hot today, isn't it? Finally, comma can be used before and after inverted commas. For example, in single inverted comma, shut the door. After the closing inverted comma, we'll put a comma, said Rohan. Like, shut the door, said Rohan. The next example is, she said, comma, inverted comma, begin, Ramesh sprained his ankle during the race, full stop, and inverted comma, close. Our next punctuation mark is apostrophe, which is used to show possession or ownership. For example, Kai's bag is in the classroom. So after Kai, KAI, apostrophe S will be coming, showing the ownership. Or example, this is Chinky's pencil box. After Chinky, we will put apostrophe and then S. Apostrophe is also used to show missing letters in the contraction. For example, he doesn't know how to operate the machine. Did you see? DOESN apostrophe T instead of NOT. That was it for apostrophe. Let's move on to our next punctuation mark, and that is inverted commas, which is used to show direct speech or what has exactly been said. For example, you did a great job, said Mahesh as he congratulated me on my victory. You must have seen that in the starting we have got inverted comma open, after which we have got you did a great job, then will be comma, then inverted comma closed, and said Mahesh, comma, and again inverted comma open, after which, as he congratulated me on my victory, full stop, and ends with inverted comma closed. On to our next punctuation mark, and that is semicolon. This is used to separate two independent clauses if one or both the clauses are short or express a similar idea. For example, we have got a sentence which says, "It is raining outside," after which we'll be having a semicolon. "I will bring my umbrella with me." I'll read the sentence once again. "It is raining outside. I will bring my umbrella with me." As you can see that both the sentences are the independent clauses and they are short and they express similar ideas. The next point is that semicolon are used to separate list of words that are already separated by commas. For example, Nisha has lived in Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh, after which semicolon, Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh, semicolon, and Pune, Maharashtra. Some of you will notice that after Bhopal it was comma and after Madhya Pradesh it was a semicolon. Again, after Lucknow it was comma and after Uttar Pradesh that was a semicolon. Why is that? It is because Bhopal is in Madhya Pradesh and we have to show a separation after this separation, which is why we added semicolon after Madhya Pradesh. Similarly, Lucknow is in Uttar Pradesh. So after Lucknow we put a comma, but after Uttar Pradesh we have to put semicolon so that we can separate it from the other part of the sentence. Now we'll switch on to our next punctuation mark, and that is colon, which is used to provide additional information or explanation. For example, "I had a hearty breakfast today, colon, eggs, comma, toast, comma, pancake, comma, and large glass of orange juice. Full stop." You must have seen that after hearty breakfast today, we put a colon. Why? Because after this, some additional information was added, like eggs were there, toasts were there, pancakes were there, etc. etc. We can also use colon after the subject in formal letter. For example, subject, application for leave. Subject, colon, application for leave. Finally, colon is also used like a comma to introduce a quote. For example, Robert Louis Stevenson said, "Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you plant." Some of you must have noticed that after Robert Louis Stevenson said, there was a colon, and after which comes the quote, which said, "Don't judge each day." That's it for punctuations, everyone. Kindly listen to this session once again. Take care.